Hello, welcome to my videos and my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about what happened today on 2025 NBA Playoff Day 23, where today was played the Day 23 in the NBA Playoff, where there were two games in both conference. In the first game in the Western Conference, the Oklahoma City Thunder defeated the Denver Nuggets 92 to 87, and with this victory, the Thunders tied the series to 2, and now the series will travel back to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, to play the game 6, not the game 5. And in the Eastern Conference, in the Eastern Conference, the Indiana Pacers didn't have any problem. Defeated the humility the Cleveland Cavaliers, where they won this game by 20 point difference, 29 sorry, to 109. And with this victory, the Pacers took a 3-1 lead in the series, and now the Pacers have the opportunity to win this series. Now the series will travel to back to the Cleveland, Ohio, to the game 5. So let's talk about a little more about each game. So let's start with the second game of the day in the Eastern Conference. The Indiana Pacers defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 129 to 109. Before this game, remember the Pacers were leading the game 2-1, where the Pacers won the both games in Cleveland, and the Cavs won the third game in Indiana. So this was a must to the Cavaliers to win this game, to try to tie the series to 2 and avoid to fall 3-1-3 in the series. And this was a big opportunity for the Pacers to win this game, take a 3-1 in lead in the series, and try to finish the series in the game 5 there in Cleveland. So about this game, I thought that the Caps were going to play better. I thought that the Caps were going to win this game, but it didn't happen that. It happened the other thing, because the Pacers dominated the game from the beginning to the end, especially in the first quarter, and in the end they had an easy game. In the first quarter, in the first half, the Pacers showed that they are one of the best team in these playoffs, where they were leading the first half by 41 point difference. Yeah, you heard right, 41 point difference, where they were leading the halftime 80 to 39. In the halftime they were leading by 41 point difference, and in that moment the game was over, to be honest, because it was very impossible that the Pacers, the Caps, could come back by a 41 points deficit. Also, another bad news by the Caps is that the Donovan Mitchell is a star, got injured in the first half, and in the second quarter he looked like a left ankle injury, and for that reason he didn't return to the game, and he didn't play the second half. In the second half, because the Pacers were leading the game, they relaxed his basketball level, and for that reason the Caps took that opportunity, and they reduced the gap to a 20 point difference, but in the end the Pacers had the game under control. The game was over in the halftime, and in the end the Pacers won the game 129 to 109. With this victory, the Pacers took a 3-1 lead in the series, and now it looks like very impossible for the Caps to win this series, because how great the Pacers have been playing in this series, and how bad the Caps have been playing in this series. So about the best player in the Pacers, where the best player was Pascal Siakam with 21 points. The second best scorer were Miles Turner and Obi Toppin with 20 points each other. So it looks like that the Pacers have the series under control, because they have been playing at tremendous basketball level. So now the series will travel back to Cleveland, Ohio, for the game 5, where it's a must to win for the Caps. If not, they're going to be eliminated. But it looks like very impossible that in difficult that the Caps can overcome a 1-3 in the series, because the Pacers have dominated this series. And in the first game and the second game of this day, the first game in the day in the Western Conference, the Oklahoma City Thunder defeated the Denver Nuggets 92 to 87. Remember that before this game, the Nuggets were leading this series 2-1, where the Nuggets won the game 1 and game 3, and the Thunder won the game 2, where they humiliated the Nuggets, and they won that game by 46 point difference. So this was a must it was a must to win before the game 2 for the Thunder, because they wanted to avoid to be down 1-3 in the series, and it was a must victory for the Nuggets, because they will get they will get up by 2 games, 3-1 in the series, and they could be they could have a little shorter to qualify to the final conference. But this game was a tremendous game. I'm not gonna to lie. I'm not gonna to lie. It was a very great game. That is what happened in the game 3, where the game was very close and the game was defining the clutch time. To be honest, I say today in the morning when I was recording the 2025 NBA Playoffs Day 22 that if this game was defining the clutch time, the most probably that the Nuggets were going to win this game, because the Nuggets have been executed better in the clutch time in comparison of the Nuggets, the Thunders, because the Thunders have been dominated most of this game, where they won this game, the game for more than 10 point difference, and for that reason, the Nuggets didn't perform in a very well in a very well way in the clutch time. But this was different because the game was very close, where in the first half the Thunder were leading the game, but in the second half, especially in the third quarter, the Nuggets were leading the game. But what happened is that the Thunder executed better and played better in the clutch time, especially in the last 4 minutes of the game, where the Thunders created a big gap of more than 5 point difference. That was enough to win that game, and also that the Thunders played tremendous defense side, especially in the last 4 minutes of the game, where they limited the Nuggets to only 87 point difference, and this was one of the reasons why they won the game 92 to 87. With this victory, the Thunders won the second game of the series and they tied the series to 2. And now the series will travel back to Oklahoma for the game 5, where this will be a tremendous game, because any team that wins that game, it's got a lot of more possibilities to qualify to the final conference. About the statistics, the best player in the winning team was Gil Jones Alexander with 25 points, and the second best scorer was Carson Walls and Aaron Wiggins with 11 points each one. So, what's next? Tomorrow we'll have another 2 games, 1 game per conference, where will be played the game 4 in both games. In the Eastern Conference, in the first game, the New York Knicks will receive the Boston Celtics and New York City, New York, and 19:30 Eastern time. Remember that the Knicks are leading this series to 1, where something where about this series is that the away teams have won all the games in this series. So I think that for the Knicks have the opportunity to take a 3-1 lead in the series and try to win this series in the game 5 there in Boston. But the Celtics want to tie the series to win this game and try to tie the series to 2 and recover the home advantage. So I think that this will be at least an interesting series. Remember that the Boston Celtics have been dominating this game, but the big difference is that the Knicks have executed better in the clutch time, especially in the game 1 and 2, where the Knicks overcome 20 points deficit in both games, but this didn't happen in the game 3. So I think that this game will be closer than it was in the game 3. But I think that in the end, the Celtics are going to win this game by more than 3 point difference, and the Celtics are going to tie the series. And in the second game of the day, in the Western Conference, in the game 4, the Golden State Warriors will receive the Minnesota Timberwolves there in San Francisco, California, in the Chase Stadium in the 2020 o'clock Eastern time. Remember that the Timberwolves are leading this series 2-1, where the Timberwolves won the game 2 and 3, and the Warriors won the game 1. Also, something to say is that the Stephen Curry got injured in the game 1 in the second quarter, and he didn't return to play that game. So Steve Curry is going to be out minimum 1 week. He missed the game 2 and 3, and he's going to miss this game 4. So I think that the Timberwolves are going to take advantage that Steve Curry is not going to play. It is said that Steve Curry is going to be ready for until the game 6 if this is possible. But I think that because Steve Curry is not going to play this game, the Timberwolves are going to win this game. They are going to take a 3-1 lead in the series, and they are going to have the possibility to win this game in game 5. So the Warriors need to do anything to try to win this game, to try to force a game 6 and try to Steve Curry can return to the series. So in this video I talk about what happened today in the NBA playoffs day 22, where in the Eastern Conference The Pacers didn't have any problem, defeated the Caps by 20-point difference, and the Pacers took a 3-1 lead in the series in the second game. The first game in the day in the Western Conference. The Oklahoma City Thunder defeated the Denver Nuggets 92-87 as a white team. The Thunder tied the series 2-2, and the series is amazing. And tomorrow we'll have 2 games, 1 game per conference. So I hope you like this video, and if you have any comment or suggestion, you can write me in my social media platform. So see you next video. Jibra.